Flame was the only member of Longzhu last game that actually did pretty well.
Well, we don't know how they're practicing, Doa, and they may just be practicing with these 2 3-man units.
It's true.
In scrims going, because they have a 10-man. They have a 10-man squad. Remember, Fury and Zeus are still there.
Longzhu more than anyone has a warrant to experiment.
Fury is also unbanned right now, so he could theoretically play, but Captain Jack has been doing a good job, so they just keep him in.
Guess so. Well, Lulu Corky, the first bans on the blue side, Bard on the red side so far.
Keeping with that Bard ban for KT Rolster.
Yeah, you don't want Pure to pick that one up. It's pretty understandable. Kog'Maw, okay.
So they deny the Lulu, even though that was not a winning pick for KT in game number 1. And they're not going to first pick the Corki themselves, which they may go for Kalista. Nope, they're going to ban Kalista, so they changed it up. In fact, they leave the Nidalee open now.
Maybe
once again.
Trying to first pick it for a Crash? I think it's maybe first pick worthy.
I don't think they're going to first pick Nidalee. I think they're going to try and first pick GP or Alistar.
Does it seem likely that Score won't go for the Nidalee as a takeaway?
Still
just going to grab that Elise?
I just think that there are enough other junglers available right now. You don't have to worry about that. And KT will be the one banning Fiora.
Yeah.
But that leaves the GP up, and that's just going to go over to Expression. So try and replicate Flame's great performance on that champion in game 1. First game of the day that Lissandra is not banned by KT, and they may just prioritize this.
Well, Lissandra, Alistar maybe?
Be a good start. They have a very powerful dive composition with those 2 champions.
Lissandra Lucian you could make an argument for too.
Yeah, the AD carry pool again squeezed in this game. We've seen the pretty thoroughly dominated in this series with the Kog'Maw and Kalista and Corki bans coming through at various points in time. Just won a game in this matchup where he punished the Elise invades.
Yep.
Not really a reason to go after any other pick at this point in time, if that's been what's working for you.
So thinking about a mid laner, thinking about a support pick here. I suppose Trundle would be fine to pick up if you want to save that mid pick for last.
Yeah, you may want something that's a little better at diving or puts on a little bit more pressure. Braum, of course, very good with Elise because it helps you land guaranteed cocoons.
It's weird having a day where we haven't seen a single Thresh yet. That is a bit strange. Looks like it will be Elise Braum, though.
Yeah, you see the Nidalee, and you're maybe slightly worried about a poke composition, even though most of the poking champions have already been banned out.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
Trundle.
Just last. Switch it over to Trundle.
Right.
I also thought Braum would be better in the last game, but apparently this is just a pick that Hachani is super comfortable and super confident on.
Well, you can face check a bush and be that much safer on the Trundle.
Just hit R.
Yep.
I don't know, you can also just jump back to your ally or press Unbreakable on Braum. Both of them pretty damn tanky. And oh boy.
Here we go again.
Well, this is going to be a really weak early game for Longzhu. I don't know if I agree with this draft, Doa.
I mean, they're going to need to count on Crash to carry, and he's done it before, but...
Yeah, but the problem is...
Zed, whoa, all right.
Wow, that is...
This is a bit wild.
We don't even know if that Lissandra's going into the mid lane. So it's going to be our first Zed here in Korea on 6-3.
Yeah.
The Duskblade available for use, but the Duskblade is pretty crap, honestly, as an item.
Duskblade of Drakthar.
The problem is that you don't get to choose when the passive is used, right?
Yeah.
It's not an ability, an active, so you kind of just have to like sit there for 2 minutes and not hit anybody. Pretty annoying.
I think the Quinn is reasonable. Quinn versus GP up in the top lane is pretty nice.
Well, it could be a mid lane Quinn against the Zed very easily, too.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But they could just go for, wow, a Jace here, getting a knockback. They'd set up for really powerful siege composition with Lucian Jace, and that will be a mid lane Jace in the end. So using one of Coco's special champions against him.
Yeah. Well, not against him, against Frozen, I guess. Coco's on the bench.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Frozen coming in, sorry. Yeah, that Frozen, interestingly, not really known as a Zed player.
It's quite the jump to go from Lux to Zed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I also wonder if we're going to see someday play Jace on the top side and just try and harass this GP from range. Definitely a possibility. Yeah. And Lysandra matchup with Zed too. Basically, if Zed death marks, you just ult yourself and sit there.
Yeah.
Or ult him. I mean, it's a good matchup for Lysandra for sure.
And that Jace will be going to the top lane for someday. And I mean, it's a pick you can do a lot of damage on too, so I think KT's looking okay.
Yeah, certainly they've got a lot of strong diving presence. They've got a lot of great peel for their two AD carries here in Jace and Lucian, and they've got a great setup for a siege. I'm really worried because Longzhu doesn't have wave clear early at all.
Yeah.
And this is a composition from KT that is extremely good at 5-man sieging. So Longzhu, I think they just got drafted into the ground and they're just going to lose all their outer turrets. They've got to make some huge plays with Nidalee and Zed to get big leads so they can split push.
Well, we'll see what they've got in mind as we move into game number 3 here. Longzhu versus KT, a battle for a higher spot at the end of round 1. Let's see who takes it. And welcome to Summoner's Rift once more. Longzhu Gaming taking on KT Rolster. Again, both of these teams tied at 5-3 in the standings. Whoever wins this moves up to 6-3 to tie with Jin Air and Samsung. And will actually have the highest game score too at +6.
And loser will go down to join SK Telecom, reigning world champions in the middle of the pack.
Yeah. Not really the result at the end of the first round we were expecting here in Korea. Lysandra voicing her displeasure as well. That's what happens when you tell Lysandra SKT's not in first. They're not even second or third. They're down the middle, and she's like, oh. That's how I felt too, Lysandra. That's the same noise I made.
You make it a lot. You make it every cast.
I know. I saw Benki pick Udyr at home, and I was like, what? No.
All right, Frozen is in. And will he be able to do some work with Zed? We haven't seen Zed here in Korea in quite some time. It's time for some quality Lysandra screaming. Now, they picked the Zed into a possible Lysandra matchup.
They did.
And we're going to have standard lanes, which is wonderful for KT Rolster. Wunderbar. That's what they want. Ranged.
Splendid.
Yes. Ranged champion in the top lane up against the GP. They picked for lane matchups. They have that strong bottom lane once again. And they successfully managed to beat Longzhu with in the last game. They tried to play Ezreal Alistar, and it did not go well. Got denied a lot of CS early. It's going to happen again. So you have to question a little bit Longzhu not attempting a lane swap here.
Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see what Coco can do. Or I see Jason. I just think Coco.
Yep,
it's happening to both of us, right? What someday can do with this Jace up in the top lane. I mean, yeah, in theory, you can poke away at Gangplank, but I mean, as long as you just play safe and then walk into Parlay, we're seeing already Expression not doing bad at all in the trades.
Yeah, but he's having to use his Parlay on Jace instead of firing minions. So
it's less gold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's less gold. Yeah.
It's true.
If GP is using his Parlay on you, though, you're already winning.
I suppose. Because there's no real negotiation going on. That's the real win there. Well, Crash has been unleashed. We've seen what kind of crazy stuff this guy can do on Nidalee in the past. We'll see if he can handle it this time. Score waiting for him.
Score is so sneaky.
Sneaky score. Flash Cocoon onto Crash. Here comes Achani. Or not really going in. Drops the turret. That's about it. Meanwhile, Pure decides to engage.
Longzhu.
Fight over the blue buff. Yeah, Longzhu could be in trouble as Fly comes in. Hero trying to do some damage, but in the end, Longzhu just going to take a lot.
So, exactly the same thing that happened last game. I don't know who's making these calls on Longzhu, but I mean, that was a really delayed attempt at a third buff because Crash had gone through and taken out both of his buffs. So the likelihood that Score wouldn't be there, really low.
Yeah.
And Score just stood there, let him take a bunch of damage from the blue buff right to his face, and then called in the reinforcements.
Yeah. which worked because the lanes were, again, you know, pushed in a way that KT could respond very quickly.
Yeah, really easy response there. Now Longzhu gets away without sacrificing first blood, and they end up trading flash for flash, but still.
Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse there.
Yeah.
Jack did a good job of intercepting Arrow so that he couldn't make it up and finish off the kill.
Yep. As is, a little bit of a CS lead for mid and AD carry for KT at the moment.
That was nearly disastrous there for Longzhu. If Longzhu loses a kill or two on that, they may just straight up lose the game because of how well KT can snowball this against the low wave clear. You just can't be running tricks like that. You have to be working with Zed right now. If you're Longzhu, the Nidalee and Zed together, and attempting to. I don't know if score was seen.
I don't think he was. I think it was close.
No,
they pinged him. Yeah, they saw him. Okay. Fly coming in onto Crash. They're going to try to chase him down. Didn't get close enough. There we go. Flash W. Crash could be in trouble. Remember,
Cocoon just out of range.
If that had hit, Crash probably would have gotten killed.
Yes.
He had no flash, no summoner to get away with.
Yeah, Fly uses flash right there to get the W. Doesn't quite have the ultimate at level 6 yet.
Yeah.
And then the Cocoon just a tiny bit out of range. But they force the Nidalee away from that side of the jungle, do a little bit of damage. See if Fly gets punished for not having that flash in the mid lane right now, but considering he's about to hit 6, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Right. Well, Crash still manages to have a little bit of a CS lead. It's tiny, but it's there.
It is there, indeed.
It's making it work.
Frozen is level 6. So the question now is how much work can he and Crash do together to feed this Zed and get a big gold lead where he can split push and they will be able to force the members of KT into different parts of the map. Because it really is a battle of KT wants to stay together right now as 5, and what Longzhu wants to do is play a 1-3-1 split push game, and whoever gets to their objective first is more than likely just going to straight out win this game.
Right. And again, you know, no teleport for Frozen too. He's got that Ignite, of course, which you'd expect to see on the Zed, but it does mean that Longzhu is just a little bit less mobile when it comes to responding to things around the map.
Yeah, you don't have to be mobile on Zed. You just have to split push all day.
Let's see if he gets a chance. Looks like the GP ult used. Just to push that lane up a little bit further, I guess.
They just don't want this turret being taken while they're distracted, but that's going to cause Score to come and dive this.
Yeah, Expression could be in trouble. There's the Lissandra ult used. Expression gets out of it right away. Spear comes in. First blood goes over to KT right before they trade kills. Both top laners going down. Now Fly in a little bit of trouble. Crash is going crazy. Double kill for him. Can he make it a triple? Score turning around. There's a lot of minions there. Triple kill though for Crash. This guy is insane on Nidalee.
Wow, what a great re-engage there onto the turret by Crash. Picks up a triple, and that's exactly what Longzhu needs to get rolling. It looked like for a second there Fly had made a great play, of course, using the ult first, gets that down. It is oranged, and then he comes in with a great claw for the W to follow up on that stun, but just too much, and that's Crash. He's going to take the red buff now, too. So take a look at that.
What a play.
Really nicely done by Fly, though, but Someday just tanks way too much damage from the turret, and Crash just has balls of steel, goes right in, and now we're seeing Crash killed the red buff.
Well,
you win some, you lose
I was going to
some.
say, yeah, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
It was, well, they give Someday shutdown gold, which is also super bad.
Yeah, and he's going to harass Expression a little bit. Oh, Crash.
He's got a lot of talent, but sometimes it shows that he's a rookie.
I guess. Gets a 1v3 triple kill, and then...
Well, somebody just walks back after reviving. I don't know what they thought was going to happen.
Oh, it's a rookie move. I mean, what else do you call that?
Greed. Very greedy.
Poor Crash.
Now this Jace right back in the game. Did a good job before. Yep. Suddenly a 500 gold advantage for Someday in his lane, and the gold lead overall swings back towards KT Rolster. And now that the first buy is done in the bottom lane too, as we take a look at Lucian Ezreal, this is where the lane matchup really starts tilting in favor of Lucian after that first buy when Captain Jack has to spend 700 gold on a tier and Arrow just gets damage. So the trades become much more difficult for Ezreal at that point in time, and we're going to see that reflected in a larger lead, assuming nothing goes wrong or there aren't any ganks.
Yeah, especially trying to push Someday out of lane. Barrels for everyone. Crash comes in. Are they going to dive this?
No, this... Crash, you crazy.
It's Crash. Oh, Crash. Well, Frozen comes in for the execute at least. But Crash, a bit of desperation in those moves. Fly's going to get a lot of damage onto that mid lane turret.
That might be a good trade, actually, depending on depending on what Zed does with his gold. Because getting the kill onto Zed early and the red buff in exchange for your jungler, and you kill their top laner, they don't get the turret though, and they suffer some damage here on the mid. Square is going to clean up that wave.
Will he buy the Dusk Blade of Drekthar?
What a terrible name. Why do they have to call it of anything? Why can't they just call it Duskblade? Duskblade sounds good.
Yeah. And, I mean, come on, guys. Who's this like, I think I'm saying it right, Drekthar guy? Like, I know he's an orc shaman in World of Warcraft, but what is he in League of Legends? That's the question.
I don't know. I wish they would stop giving item names. Making item names so long.
I'm going to look it up.
Are you? All right, you do that.
Make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Hold on. Meanwhile, a little bit of action down in the bot lane.
This is, without any assistance down here, this is just going to be a slow turret death for KT. They continuously zone this Ezreal and this Alistar away from the minion wave.
Yeah. Putting on that pressure, it's what they need to do.
But the minion lead in the mid lane over to Frozen right now.
Oh, it's Drakthar. D-R-A-K.
Whatever.
T-H-A-R-R. Duskblade of Drakthar.
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 He's a pirate.
I am the Duskblade of Drakthar. Handed down by me fathers. Through the pirating years.
Going Irish pirate here.
That's how most of them sound, really, when you think about it.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
That was a pole flash too.
It was, yeah. That's where you play the sound from The Price is Right.
You're trying to get a little bit too fancy.
If he had a Duskblade of Drakthar, maybe that would have gone differently, Monte Cristo.
No, I don't think that fixed the mechanical error that he made.
You never know. Well, you probably do know.
I do know, actually. There's some things I know, Doa. That is one of them.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to promote the new item. It's so exciting.
It's not a very good item.
Will he build his...
No, I don't think he will.
No, he won't. Oh, score. Eats a spear.
Gets the purple rain.
I guess so. Prince is happy somewhere, right?
Now, why can't we call it Prince's Echoes? Because it gives you the purple rain.
It's true. I think that's a very good question. Yeah.
Who is this Luden guy? Just call it Prince.
Yep. Prince deserves the credit when anything purple is raining down. And KT will grab the first dragon of the game.
Exciting times. Exciting times to be in Summoner's Rift.
I mean, if it's chocolate rain, you have to give the credit to Tay Zonde, but purple rain, all Prince. So KT, as we've seen, has a 100% win rate when they get that first dragon.
That they do.
Came into play last game. It will maybe come into play
It's
this game
time.
too. It's flash time for Machani.
It is. It's dive time in this top side.
Yep, Spear comes in, doesn't really connect. Frozen goes on to Someday. There's the death mark, and I don't think Someday's making it out of this one. Nope, Crash gets the kill. Could have given it to Frozen, but no, the Nidalee needs it. Meanwhile, Fly gets more damage done to that mid lane turret.
Every time they leave, they start to lose this turret more and more. Actually, no damage on the bottom lane. Jack and Pure doing a good job of keeping it upright, but here comes Dive Part 2.
Yeah, Pure on the run. Flash from Captain Jack avoids the cocoon.
Yeah, that's fine, though. They just need to push him off the turret. If they could trade 2 turrets for 1. Oh, they didn't get the mid lane. Why is Lissandra not attacking the mid lane turret? Oh, no.
Your concern sounds feigned a bit. Oh, no.
No, oh, no.
Oh.
She could have taken the mid lane turret, but instead was late to the dive and doing nothing.
Oh, no.
It is oh, no. Could have taken 2 turrets for 1 there.
It was bad. I just didn't believe it. You didn't sell it to me, you know? The concern just didn't feel genuine.
It's not like it's life or death. It's only League of Legends here, Doa.
League of Legends is life or death for some people who take it way too seriously.
For who, Doa?
I don't know. They're out there, raging at you in solo queue. It's that guy who I just maybe accidentally got the kill in bot lane on support when he was trying to get it in AD carry. Like,
you flash ignited for it,
I maybe flash ignited for it, but then he leaves the game. I mean, he's the one taking it too seriously. I was just doing what I was born to do.
Well, he was doing what he was born to do too, raging at video games.
I guess so. Can't argue with that.
Oh,
score. Nice steal with that blue buff. Man.
He stole it with a spider.
Yeah.
He shot a spider at it and actually managed to get it.
Way to go, Spider Bro. Good job. Frozen. He's got a hammer. No Duskblade of Drakthar quite yet.
He's not going to buy it. It's bad.
If Zed doesn't buy it, I don't know who would.
No one's going to buy it because it's bad. It's a bad
It's
item.
a blade, though. He could actually, well, he uses shurikens. Razor shurikens.
Those are really big shurikens, too.
I know.
2 of them take up like his entire back.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to get a piggyback ride from Zed. Cut up your thighs pretty badly, I think.
Mostly your
whole
chest.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd ask him to remove his Razor shurikens first before I let Zed give me a piggyback ride.
Look, good to know, Noah. Good to know.
Gotta think about these things sometimes.
No, you have to think about these things sometimes. No one else does.
Yeah, but somebody's got to do it, you know? It's true.
Uh-oh.
Going in on to Someday. All right. Death Mark on to Someday. Frozen still in a lot of trouble. And he's dead.
Fortunately, Score was there being a buddy. They got his flash. There is
Frozen is upset, man. He's sad. He's like, gosh, should have got that Duskblade of Drakthar instead of this Ghost Blade.
TP.
Yeah, teleport bringing Expression to the top lane. They're going to go after Someday. Score is there. GP ult gets dropped. Crash in a little bit of trouble, but not as much as Score is as he tries to dive back into the turret. Repel to the ward to death.
Yeah,
Crash picks up his 6th kill of the game. All the kills going on to Crash, I guess.
A double kill for this Nidalee, who already has the Abyssal Scepter.
Oh, but then he decides to donate. All right, back in the red buff pit, the bane of Crash. Achani's just going to zone him out a little bit. There we go, a little bit of support action.
Crash is easily the most hilarious jungler to watch.
It's like charity jungler. It's like, I guess I shouldn't have
He's
gone
like,
in there.
why am I so good and bad at the same time?
He's so good bad. He's the best good bad jungler we have in the league. I'm so good bad.
It's like triple kill straight into death, double kill straight into death. Crash, stop going to red buff after you make the plays.
See, the thing is, it's like he's got some sort of dark pact with the other team. He's like, for every kill, I must give one as well. For every soul I take, there must be balance. Apparently.
Well, it's still better than Chaser last game, who would just die and not take any kills.
Yeah. Only donating. Whoa, that's a GP that's starting to do a little bit of damage.
Getting those big trades too.
Yeah. KT is going to grab the Rift Herald. Rift Squad.
Well, we're back to even after the great trade.
The great trade wreck.
The great trade wreck.
The great trade robbery. The hype trade.
It wasn't It wasn't that hype. But Longzhu, Expression had a good TP. Make a nice play. KT pushing up without sufficient vision is punished in due course, and it's been a game of punishment so far. This punishes for both teams each way, but a bit sloppy.
Sufficient Vision was the name of my, soft trance EDM group.
So it's just sufficient?
Sufficient Vision. Yeah.
About right. You guys sound like an average band.
We were very average, just like we wanted. KT really wants the second dragon. The new buff is pretty good.
Especially for them.
Yes.
Because now we have to start talking about the kind of compositions that would really benefit from this buff. And I tell you what, Jace and Lucian are going to be big winners in the extra turret damage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Buff that you can acquire.
Someday,
especially with Elise too in the jungle, getting that ranged jungler in there to make sure you get more autos on it.
Someday poking well with that Jace. Can they get the dragon? Not quite. Second dragon goes over to KT. Longzhu on the run now. Let the siege begin.
It's your favorite part of League of Legends. Poking.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
KT in a great place now. And the Lissandra split push is beginning. Has that Rod of Ages stacking up, getting close to Zhonya's Hourglass. And Zhonya's plus ult Lissandra. Zed is not going to do anything to her.
You know what he needs, Monty? You know what item he needs to buy? I got an idea about what item. Can you guess which one it is? I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say the item.
Bloodthirster.
No, that's the wrong one. He needs a Duskblade of Drakthar.
He doesn't. He actually needs a QSS. That's actually the right buy right there.
Yeah, whatever.
Force Lissandra to ult herself instead of ulting you.
Sure. That sounds logical, I guess.
That way, if he gets into a team fight, he can actually ult somebody who's not Lissandra and get some damage down. Instead of just being instantly ulted by Lissandra in the first place.
Yep. Well, he does have the QSS, so I hope you're happy.
I am happy.
That's great.
I'm happy for Zed, even though I still think Zed is going to do absolutely nothing in this game. I don't even know why Zed was picked.
He could have had a couple more kills right now if it weren't for Crash taking so many of them. I mean, he actually should be farther ahead than he is right now.
Still, just you see the Lissandra, you know the Lissandra's there, you still pick into that matchup.
Yeah.
Actually, Longzhu winning the Siege War in the mid lane, interestingly enough, but Jace's going to take top turret. There's nobody there to actually prevent him from doing so.
I mean, KT has their strategy, but...
Oh, man, come on, Someday. Just hit it once.
I'm going to call him a Pokemon because they're sure looking like slow poke right now.
They're not poking at all.
No, no poke.
Yeah, they're basically no poke. Wow, Someday got really scared because he had no wards and decided not to finish off that turret. That is really cautious. Perhaps overly so. It would have been worth it if him dying there, even if they could just take that turret.
Yeah.
But instead, it's time for them to snowball off the dragon, I guess. Gotta sit here for a while.
The KT way.
KT way, kept getting bounced around.
I mean, Longzhu could still turn this one around. They are pretty much dead even.
Oh, yeah, and let's talk about Ezreal and GP scaling. The one thing that won't be happening is this Zed doing anything.
Well, Arrow doesn't have a QSS yet.
Just remember, could have picked Victor and actually had wave clear.
Oh, that's really it, right? Weird not to see the Victor.
Should have picked Victor. Could have picked Lux.
Yeah. Either one would have been better. Instead, he will dull his blades upon the rocky hide of the Krug.
Not so Razor Shuriken after that one.
No.
Don't use your shurikens on rocks, guys.
Bludgeoning Shuriken.
I guess KT really just doesn't want to commit to anything right now.
Well, see, they're waiting for that fourth dragon stack so that they can use it to not dive.
It's true. They definitely would have some issues diving in spite of their Lissandra.
Yeah. 20% less damage from turrets. Oh, good. That's when Arrow walks up to auto the turret a couple times when there's no minions, he won't take as much damage.
KT really needs to snowball this game, or the Ezreal GP are going to become a massive problem.
One does worry a little bit. Here we go. TP coming in from KT. Captain Jack already low. Fly over the wall. Nice engage. Ults himself after that W. GP ult comes down, but Pure has to flash to get out of there. Expression and Crash trying to turn this one around, though. But man, that poke from Someday on that Jace is doing work. And it's a good fight for KT. They got Captain Jack, but what can they get out of it now?
Yeah,
Looks like not much.
They need to try and make a push onto some of these turrets, because it's great that they got a kill and all that, but they couldn't pick up the second one, Pure living with his ultimate, and they commit a lot to that.
Yeah.
Flash and a TP from Fly. Jack didn't even have a chance to use his summoners, just sort of exploded. And can they take this top turret finally? Again, they just don't have the vision.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't move that far up without those wards.
Pink wards are there. Great ult there from Expression. Expression was definitely in the right place at the right time. This tower just hanging on by a thread. They lose one on the bottom side. So actually, KT come out at a loss as a result of that play.
You know, I mean, if nothing else, Frozen may not do a lot in team fights, but he can still probably split push pretty well.
I mean, he can, but he's getting to a point where he's going to have a hard time actually dueling effectively in the split push. Someday is a QSS, so you can't deathmark him anymore.
True. Well, Longzhu trying to push up through the mid lane.
It's all about this dragon now.
Yep.
10 seconds, and then we'll see KT try and make another play. And I guess that's just how they want to play this one. Play a poke game around the pit and just scale to 5 dragons.
Well, when it's such an important match, I suppose you just kind of default to what works best. Arrow on Lucian, everybody else kind of slow and steady, and just get a bunch of dragons.
Fortunately, they will be getting a possible 5th dragon by, what, like 38 minutes?
Yeah.
They take it right now.
Well, I mean, Crash is over at the red buff pit right now, so they've got a chance to sneak this one. They started. Longzhu comes back in again. Dragon getting lower. Can Crash get there to steal it? I don't know, man. Throwing in the spear. Doesn't get it. Third dragon over to KT. And shall they fight? Nope.
I mean, Johnny's going to be able to zone him off the turret with a Trundle Pillar right here because they have that pink ward. No one can see him. Easily able to maneuver the rest of the team over there. Culling still up, and that'll be a nice turret defense there from KT.
Yeah. And very well done by KT there.
So that's the way this game's going to be, Doa.
I guess so. We were doing so well today. Oh well.
Top lane turret is never going to fall because Longzhu keeps investing so many wards. Nice job, though. That's the great thing about Trundle Pillar in the jungle is you can push people into the Jace poke.
Yeah. You know, you'd think they could use that as an opportunity to get a ward in there maybe, but no. No, they don't.
Really unwilling to commit.
Seems that way.
Fly back to split pushing duties up against this Zed. Just about dead even in gold between the two mid laners. The only really big advantage is Crash over Score and then Arrow over Captain Jack. But everybody getting the QSS. Who is Zed going to kill? He's not going to kill Hachani, who is building towards that Frozen Heart. He is no longer going to kill either Someday or Arrow or Fly. Fly has his ultimate and Azonia's Hourglass, and I guess Score is the person, or Trundle, that he's going to have to use the Death Mark on, and that is just bad.
Yep, pretty much. They have to try to find some way to win a team fight, but it seems like KT can just slowly, ever so slowly, crush the life out of them.
Yep, just take dragons until win game. It may be boring, Doa, but it is effective.
Yep. Season 6 in a nutshell.
Boring but effective?
I do think the dragon changes maybe will help a little bit, but Not in this game.
Well, KT had a good read. They knew it was going to take time for Ezreal and GB to scale up. Go ahead, control the dragon.
Yeah.
Went that way.
Makes logical sense.
I really don't like the drafts in these last couple of games from Longzhu. The Ezreal-Lua combination, that was a big loser in the last one, and this time it is the random Zed.
And the Zed is really puzzling.
It's really weird.
I feel the same way, Korean Lysandra.
Frozen was playing LeBlanc earlier this season too. He just hasn't looked good on Assassins this year yet.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not like he needed to play an Assassin this
No,
game.
he could have played Victor or Lux or whatever.
Yeah. Had a lot of options as far as wave clear goes.
Oh my, it finally
there.
goes down.
At 29 minutes.
Score.
30 minutes,
Score
basically.
finally manages to walk into the top side, put a ward down, and auto-attack a turret. He could have done that a lot earlier.
It was super hard. Gold still pretty much dead even. Only 400 gold separates these two teams.
The other problem for Longzhu is certainly we have a lot of AD on the side of KT, but Crash will do some magic damage, clearly, especially with the kind of lead that he has gotten, and therefore the items he's managed to acquire for himself. But Longzhu, the Randuin's Omen and the Frozen Heart are going to be really efficient against them for the most part.
Yeah.
Those are already done. All right, it's time for fourth dragon waiting. Noah, what do you want to do for the next 2 minutes?
Well, I was thinking that, well, we haven't talked about Shen in a while, but too easy.
We haven't seen new Shen yet.
No, we haven't. It's a little bit interesting. I mean, his sword just kind of hangs out.
Yeah, chills out. You know, when I think ninja, I think ghost sword. It's like the first thing that comes to mind. Very glowing, like neon ghost sword next to him that constantly lets you know that he's right there.
So now Shen goes, "Wah," and he appears right in front of you, and then he goes, wait for it, and then you're impaled from behind by a giant sword, and he's like, got him. That's the Shen way. They're like, oh, why did I wait for this ninja to do his big elaborate ceremony? I could have just walked away slowly. I had time to literally walk out of the room and shut the door and lock it. Walk down the block and get in my car and drive away, but I waited for this ghost sword to show up.
Oh, it's the death of Crash.
Oh,
no!
Nice cocoon score.
Well, they couldn't see him, so it was a blind cocoon.
Yeah, I'll say.
Made the attempt.
Baron is watching you.
Yeah, Longzhu just trying to threaten the Baron right now. Say, okay, well, if you guys are going to go for this dragon, we need to at least try and make some sort of counterplay here. They've lost all their vision around that objective. Dragon up in 15 seconds. KT really needs to get this.
I mean, there are scenarios where Longzhu wins this game.
Yeah, there are numerous ones. In spite of the horrendous nature of the Zed pick, they still have two of the best late game carries in the game.
Very true. And with that IE done on Expression, damage is high. Dragon is up. And KT going to go for their fourth. I mean, if they lose this dragon, it kind of derails their entire plan, doesn't it?
It would certainly stretch this game out even longer than it is already.
Oh, yes.
Arrow went back, picked up his Infinity Edge. Major item completion for him, and KT, the dragon's up, but they're just going to stretch this out. They're waiting for the minion wave in bottom to get bigger so that they can force Longzhu to respond.
Yep. I don't think it's a good idea to run like Zed and let your arms kind of like flail out behind you.
No, it's not.
Yeah. What if you fall over? No arms to break your fall. You just like land on your face. If you're running like that, you can't trip.
He shouldn't trip anyway. He's got those claws on his hands. He might really injure himself.
That's true. Hasn't he heard not to run with scissors or like a pencil or something?
Well, he's a ninja, so one assumes he has very good balance.
One assumes.
Wow, they may be trying to initiate this fight, actually. KT should just burn the dragon and poke them.
Well, they're sending Lissandra down to bottom lane now.
Yeah, they need to answer this. KT taking a really long time to begin this dragon.
Yeah, they're looking scared, you know? Wait for it. Wait for it. And he's hit. Great. Good job. Captain Jack. Taking some poke, taking a culling. Arcane Shift used. Pure soaks a bit of damage because of that cocoon.
All right, do the dragon before Nidalee can heal everybody.
Yep. Now you go in on that one. Or, okay. Yeah, okay. Steal attempt number 3 coming in from Crash. Let's see if he can get it. Dragon getting low. KT slowed up a little bit. Frozen zone down the outside. Dragon gets taken by KT.
Wow, Score got it without using Smite.
I know. Now they can just back away. Frozen comes in. Gets some damage in onto Score. Longzhu kind of obligated to chase this. Fly gets out. He flashed.
The damage coming out of Longzhu. Finally going to turn this into a mid lane turret. The culling is not available, but they do have both Jace and Lucian there.
They're just going for Baron, man.
They're getting desperate.
Well, I mean, Fly can teleport in, so if KT gets in position,
they
can,
really don't want to do this Baron, but they have a ward on
they
Baron
turn away.
already. So, well, this minion wave doing some work down here. It will get mostly collected by Expression, though, and nice little barrel and a huge amount of damage.
That's a lot of money, man. Money.
Why do you think Gangplank gets extra money from killing minions anyway?
He's a pirate. He's got a deal going with the people making the minions. Back there, like, hey, you want to put some extra gold in these minions? They're like, yeah, sure, GP.
But only if I use my gun on them.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, I want a challenge.
Oh, he got it. He got it, Doa. He got your favorite item.
He did. It's the Duskblade of Drakthar. Now Zed is unstoppable.
No, he's quite stoppable.
He's unstoppable.
I think who's unstoppable is Arrow's damage.
Yeah, it's pretty unstoppable too, I guess. When you have no more items to buy, it's time to buy the Duskblade of Drakthar.
Problem with the item, it's just like you just can't select when you use it.
There's no control over what it actually does.
Items without control. It would probably be very broken if, in fact, it was.
Right, so instead they just made it really impossible to use. Turret taken.
He's looking. He wants to Drakthar somebody.
He doesn't want to auto-attack anything right now. He's like, I've got the Duskblade of Drakthar.
I will not attack any champions.
It's really
successfully all in.
That's like the Duskblade of pacifism. Like, well, I can't clear the wave right now, guys. I need to save my 2-minute cooldown.
No. It's procs on champions. So.
Oh, it only procs on champions. Oh, okay. All right. That's okay then.
It would be truly awful if that was the case.
I didn't see that in the patch notes.
You're making me doubt myself now.
You're probably, I mean, what you said sounds much more logical. I'd like to assume that's true. Oh, Captain Jack nearly gets culled. He's got Lord Dominic's regard. Lord Dominic sends his regard to Drakthar, maker of the Duskblade, or at least owner of the Duskblade. We don't really know who made it or where it came from.
I'm sure it has lore. Why don't you know that?
I don't think they do weapon lore. Put random names on it.
Yeah, enemy champion. It was the Nightfall passive.
All right, cool. They could have just called the dagger Nightfall.
Yeah, but they needed a name for the passive. But see, the Duskblade
doesn't need to be different.
The Dusk brings the Nightfall.
I guess. The dance continues.
That's right. The game continues.
That's right.
The subtitle for this season. Certainly RKT's games where they just scale for 5 dragons. Yeah. And be jerks and run around poking you but not actually fighting you ever.
Oh, joy.
I think that they should make an item called Monty's Demolition Cannon, which only kills turrets.
Only procs on turret hits?
Only procs on turrets. Totally useless for team fighting, so it forces you just to run around the map taking turrets, which is the best kind of League of Legends.
Lord Monty's regards.
Lord Monty's Demolisher. Let's call it that.
I need like a support item it's like Relic Shield or whatever, but it only procs huge damage on low health champions.
You could just buy Duskblade, Doa. Put that on the table for you.
No. That's ridiculous. We need an item called Lord Doa's Regards. Lord Doa's Doomstick.
I like it.
That's right.
It should be Lord. Just Doa's Doomstick is enough.
That's right. Okay, I like it. It's a big club. Just yeah.
It only procs on carries too.
That's right. It's unable to harm other supports. It's attuned, as they say. Crash takes a cocoon, takes a culling, and almost takes a dirt nap. Gets out of there. I don't know if that risk color's worth it right now, Crash.
And that's really bad when there's only 30 seconds left to Dragon number 5.
He will be able to heal himself up by then.
He'll be able to heal a good chunk of it. We'll see if he can get all the way there. And that's also really bad.
That's worse. That's actually worse for KT. They need this dragon. But eventually. Maybe not right now, but...
Well, Fly is there waiting, trying to find that perfect engage. Arrow is still walking back into base.
Now he's walking back out of the base. Dragon is up in 5.
Oh, man.
Longzhu's got the
Crash
positioning.
to get all healed up, but Frozen has been poked out just a little bit. Here we go.
TP coming in. Fly does not get that engaged like he wants it.
Well, they weren't there to collapse. He
Nope's out of there.
He TP'd too early.
Longzhu getting poked, though. It's a fight over the position right now. Nice culling from Arrow. That's a big chunk taken out of Expression. They're going to go for the 5th dragon. This is big. Longzhu needs to stop it. Pure trying to get there. Everybody onto that dragon right now. They get it. Crash takes the dragon 59. Meanwhile, Fly comes in for the big Lissandra engage. Longzhu's going to pay big time for this one. Expression zoned out of the fight. They're going to turn on to Pure and Crash. Arrow picks up a kill there. 3 already as Arrow gets the double. Hajani low. Crash comes in for the execute and he gets him. Whoa, I did not expect Trump to go down that fast.
Yeah, Fly still on the chase. Crash did flash out, and they're still going to be able to punish this pretty hard, probably with an inhibitor. That should be what they're going for right now.
Now, they deny the 5th dragon, but they, like you said, will probably not deny the inhibitor from being taken by KT.
So a really good engage there from Fly.
Yep.
Showing up on this Lissandra. Fly having a good series.
And they may actually, well, they don't have a minion wave. What do you think they can do here? In mid lane? Oh, they are. They're with the minion wave. Never mind. I didn't see it. The characters are so big, so they're going to end the game maybe right here. Captain Jack coming back soon. Crash trying to make it work with that Zonias. There's the ace. Captain Jack up. Pure up as well, but the Nexus will fall anyway, and KT takes it. Guess they didn't need that 5th dragon after all.
It was all a clever bait, Doa.
That's true.
Bait them into...
It was a clever ruse in the end.
Oh, they get
My
it.
birthday? I guess so. Confirmed.
Here's a present. A win to end the 1st round robin over Longzhu, making it very difficult to say who, in fact, is the 2nd best team in Korea right now.
I really don't know.
I'll tell you who doesn't have the 2nd best draft in Korea. It's Longzhu.
Yeah, you can say that
They
again.
really dropped the ball in the draft in those second 2 games. Like, literally, I think if they had had any other champion, like normal mid laner besides Zed, Longzhu could have easily won that game.
Zed did basically nothing in that